Hey everyone, we're going to find out what holds glass to canvas best while we make 3 adorable glass art Christmas trees. Follow along to see what happens. For this experiment, I decided to make a bunch of coastal Christmas trees. I thought they'd be real pretty, and I purchased several 3x9 canvases off Amazon. I've bought these before. They're real nice little canvases. So I just took the back and I labeled each of them on the back of the canvas and also on the tape, so that when I took the tape off it would still have the label and I would know which product I put on top of it. From right to left, I used clear Elmer's glue, 1/2 strength Mod Podge, resin, and Tri-Art liquid glass. And for those of you who don't know, we put painter's tape around the perimeter of the back of the frame to catch the drips of whatever product you're putting on the top, because a lot of times it will drip down and under and it's more difficult to get it off. If you put tape on it, you can just pull the tape off and it will pull the drips off. And recently someone was telling me that the green frog tape actually works better than the painter's tape. So next time I do a project, I'm going to try to have the green frogs tape to show it to everybody. They said that it adheres better to the back of the canvas, preventing the resin or whatever you're using from getting between the tape and the canvas. So I just went ahead and I labeled and taped up every one of the backs. So the glass I'm using for this project is called Deco Stone Glass. I got it at Hobby Lobby, and for those of you who don't know, Hobby Lobby has 2 sections that has glass. Way in the back where the stained glass is, there's all sorts of mosaic tiles, little jars of glass, just a wide selection, crushed seashells and all that kind of stuff. But then up by the front there in the floral section, I'm not sure if all the stores are the same, but at ours the floral section is up by the front, and on one of those aisles there's actually this glass. And it's real pretty crushed glass, and it has some glitter attached to it, and I have never purchased it, never used it before. And I bought the 2 different color blues. I thought they'd be real pretty for coastal Christmas trees. Just so you know, the glass in the back of the store at Hobby Lobby, like every 3rd week, goes on sale for 40% off. This glass I have never seen on sale. And then here, all I'm doing is dividing it up, trying to figure out how much glass each of them, or they would take. And I'm dividing them up equally so they all have the same amount of glass on each canvas. Here I'm just putting the glass on a couple of the canvases and then getting all my shells and pearls and whatnot that I need to decorate the Christmas trees. The stars that I'm putting at the top of the Christmas tree are all brooches that I've had for a while. And then those mermaid tails I actually picked up in Europe in a dollar store. We went on one of those Viking cruises, and one of the areas we stopped in had a bunch of dollar stores. They weren't Dollar Tree, but they were like dollar stores, and they had some of the cutest stuff. I wish I could go back. But anyway, they had those mermaid tails there, and I thought, oh, I could use those for something. So I also found some adorable acrylic mermaid tails on Amazon. You get like 36 of them for $9.99, and I'll put the link in the description. So when you're using brooches on canvas, you have to take the pin off of the back, and some of these are very delicate, so you really have to be careful when you take it off. I have broken quite a few brooches. These ones, they just happen to come off super easy, just twisting them and coming off. Some of them you have to cut, but I have broken many brooches, or like leg off a mermaid, a tail off a mermaid, or different things, just trying to get them off. So be real careful, but this will allow them to sit flat on your canvas. And I'm actually putting paper towel under every one of them to catch the drips and for easier cleanup. The one that it's really important to put paper towel under is the Mod Podge one, because you end up putting a lot of Mod Podge, a half-strength Mod Podge on, and it really drips all over and makes a big mess. I'm doing the Mod Podge one first, and the Mod Podge I'm using is the gloss Mod Podge. You want to use the gloss Mod Podge, and I'm painting a coat of full-strength Mod Podge onto the canvas before I put the glass on, just to give it a good anchor so that we're sure that it holds on, or whatever is on the bottom layer holds on. Then put the glass on and decorate the tree. And typically anything real heavy like that brooch at the top, you're going to have to secure with something more than Mod Podge. So everything else that's on there should hold on just fine with the Mod Podge. I just worry about the star at the top because it's so heavy, but we can secure that later. Next, I took about 2 ounces of the Mod Podge and 2 ounces of water and mixed them together in a cup. And this is just how much I ended up mixing up. I don't necessarily use it all, but I wanted to make sure that I had enough. If you get it in the cup, I mixed it up to make sure it was all mixed, and then I just started spooning it over all of the glass. And don't be afraid, just dump as much on it as you can. Make sure everything's covered. Make sure you cover the seashells and everything. And then when you're done and you're sure everything is covered really nice, it's going to look like a watery mess. Make sure everything's still in place and just leave it sit there for about 20 minutes. Next, I moved on to the clear Elmer's glue. And again, with the clear Elmer's glue, I put a layer of clear Elmer's glue on the canvas first. And then I just put the glass on and decorated the tree. Again, just giving it a little bit of glue on the bottom to anchor the bottom layer of glass. Hopefully it'll hold it. And then here I am with the bottle of clear Elmer's glue. It's kind of hard to see, squirting it all over the glass and the shells at the bottom and all over the canvas. I'm being very liberal with the clear Elmer's glue. Waited a few minutes and started decorating the other trees while the Elmer's glue sat for a few minutes. And then I just started spreading it out along the canvas and along all of the sides to make sure it was evenly coated. I'm sure it was a little bit heavier on the top than on the sides. By then, about 20 minutes had passed, so I went back to the Mod Podge and started tipping it. Can you see all the Mod Podge draining out from underneath? So I did that and then started spreading it out on the canvas and along the sides. And if you happen to move any of the glass at all or have to push something back in place, you need to put a little bit more Mod Podge on top to make sure that you secure it. That is, just if you move anything or if something falls off. And I have this sped way up, so this I'm doing it much faster than, I'm doing it much slower than it looks. So here I am putting a little more Mod Podge over that one shell and piece of glass that had moved. Next, I'm going to be using the Tri-Art liquid glass. It does have a cloudy appearance and a milk-like consistency. I've had this for, I'm sure, over 3 years. I did a project with it last year and maybe the year before to show you comparing it to resin. So I squirted it out of the bottle and look what happened. All this thick gunk was there. So I went on the manufacturer's website and it said to just shake it up real good or strain it, and that can happen when it's exposed to extreme heat. Well, it has not been exposed to any extreme heat, but anyway, I shook it up really well and then I poured about 2 ounces into my little cup there. I mixed it up and then I started pouring it over the glass and canvas. And I just went ahead and spread it out just like I would resin. I used my little silicone brush and spread it around the top of the canvas and around the sides. And I did end up using the full 2 ounces, which is probably more than I would normally use with resin, so it was really thick. Now, the manufacturer site says it takes 24 hours to dry, and if you want to do a second coat, you should wait 72 hours. They said it is not food safe. It's heat resistant as far as like if you have it on a coaster and put a hot coffee cup on it, but they said after a while it may leave rings. And the manufacturer's site also says that it does not yellow, that it is totally UV resistant, which is a big plus. I have it on Amazon for $31 for 16 ounces, which is the size of this bottle, and $21 for 8 ounces, and I will leave a link in the description if you want to try it. I did not wear a respirator for the Mod Podge or the Elmer's glue, but for this Tri-Art liquid glass I did, because it says to do in a well-ventilated area, and I probably should have had gloves on. I really don't think it's as sticky as resin is if you were to get it on your hands. Next, I finished preparing my canvas for the resin, and the resin I'm going to be using for this project is Bond Crafter resin, the tabletop epoxy. This is a coating resin. So I just mixed it up and started drizzling it over the glass like I normally would do, and then onto the canvas, and using my little spatula to spread it out. And of course I'm still wearing a respirator, and now I have my gloves on. So the resin should take 24 hours to dry. Probably can touch it within 10 hours. The Tri-Art liquid glass that said 24 hours to dry. I know the Mod Podge needs to sit for probably 3 days. The canvas will be dry to touch the next morning, maybe even after a few hours. But I have done this Mod Podge on glass before, and because I can turn it around and see the glue on the back, I know that it takes at least 3 days for it to completely dry. 3 to 4 days, actually. You can't see it, but if it's on glass, you can turn your glass around and look. But on canvas, of course, you can't look behind it. And as far as the Elmer's glue, I have no idea. We'll just see. So I came back the next morning and I removed the tape from the back of the Tri-Art liquid glass. It was dry to touch. So I went ahead and took the tape off, and that you can see the little drips on it. I think you can, yeah, right there. And that came off super easy. Little drips, the tape came right off. And then I took the tape off the one with resin on it, and this did not come off as easily. And for those of you who don't know, the sooner you take it off, the better off you are. So, I mean, if you wait 2 days, the longer you wait, the harder it is to get it off. So the trick to this is, if you're having problems, just use your heat gun and heat it up a little bit, and that loosens it, and it comes right off. It's super easy to do. And like I said, the sooner the better and the easier. And I'm interested to use the green frog tape that somebody had told us about, and see how easily that comes off and how well that works. So keep watching my future videos. I'll be using it. And then the next two, the Mod Podge and the Clear Elmer's glue, I just cleaned up, took the little cup out from under it. I did not take the tape off the back. I didn't know if it would pull anything else off, so I just wanted to wait. And the Mod Podge, like I said, is going to take several days to dry, so I just went ahead and put them all on a tray and set them aside to finish drying, for at least the Mod Podge to finish drying for 4 days. And then on day 4, I removed the tape from the Mod Podge, which came off super easy, and from the Elmer's glue, which was a little bit more difficult. It left some residual around the edge, but after working on it for a few minutes, it all came off.
Hey everyone. So it is Saturday morning right now, and I actually did all of these on Tuesday afternoon. So it's been almost 96 hours drying. So anyway, I have them from right to left. This is the Tri-Art liquid glass, the resin, the Mod Podge, and the Elmer's glue. And from a distance, they all look the same. But of course, the resin is the shiniest, but the Tri-Art liquid glass is really a nice alternative. I'm hoping you can see it in this light. I actually took them outside, but I didn't think that it helped in the visualization of it at all. But this is the Tri-Art liquid glass. Super pretty. It does leave a really nice shine on it. This, and we'll compare it to resin. We'll put them side by side. So this is the resin one. Real nice finish. I forget, did I use the Bond Crafter for this? I may have. Real pretty. These are the two of them next to each other. Can you see the difference? I can. But still, this is really a nice alternative. I kind of forgot. And gosh, the bottle's over 3 years old and it works beautiful. And they say that there is no, it is not affected at all by UV rays, so it will never yellow. And then here is the Mod Podge on this side and the Elmer's glue here. And honestly, I can't tell the difference between the two. Can you? I'm kind of tipping them so that you can compare the shine. They have a nice little shine on it. It's not a real thick shine or anything, but they both look pretty. And so now we'll test them to see if the glass holds on. And the glass feels like it's on there solid. Now my question is, I'm like 100% certain that this, when I hit it on the counter, is gonna fall off. But when you, with Mod Podge, yeah, I can see it's kind of hanging there. When you use something that's larger with Mod Podge, you really have to adhere it with something stronger. So here is the Tri-Art liquid glass. Oops, and everything stays on just fine. Of course, the resin, nothing's gonna fall off. We hope. Oh, it's got tape on the bottom. We hope. Okay, here's the Mod Podge test. I think this is gonna fall right off. Oh, there it goes. But no glass comes off of it. It really holds on there nice. And this is the Elmer's glue. One little piece of glass fell off. Huh. But yeah, just one little piece. But I mean, this is really, it's all on there, very solid. Solid as a rock. Now, I don't think I would expose these to moisture because something could happen. But if you're just gonna keep them in the house or give them away as gifts, I don't see why you couldn't do that. So here's my, and geez, this one stayed on. This is lighter though, but this is a little bit heavier. So anything heavy that you have for with Mod Podge, you need to glue it on with something else. But I think they're all really pretty. So that answers the question. Someone was asking about the Elmer's glue. They had posted a picture, but the picture they posted made it look like it was this really thick coating, like with resin, and it's not. It's very similar to Mod Podge. And I'll show you, I'm gonna show you. So this is a gingerbread man that I did 2 years ago with Mod Podge on glass. And isn't that pretty? And it's still, it sits in my room and it's still fine. It looks fine. Of course, it'll, as far as I know, it'll never yellow. I think it leaves a little haze on the glass, so that's why I put this glitter glass on it. But I think that's super pretty, and that's Mod Podge. Whether you could do that with the clear Elmer's glue, I don't know. But anyway, so when you do it on glass, you can see by looking at the back of it how long it takes to dry. That's why I know that the Mod Podge takes at least 3 to 4 days to dry on the back. So, and you can't tell that with canvas. So anyway, that was a neat experiment. The little trees turned out super cute. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps the channel. If you enjoy the channel, please consider subscribing. Have tons of videos, all sorts of glass and resin art, trying something new all the time. Trying to think what else to tell you. Facebook group, an amazing group over there. Everybody's putting out their holiday art. Everybody's having a lot of fun with that, all excited. It's September. It's still in the 90s here, but makes us feel cooler, I guess, if we do that. And anyway, hope you guys all have a great day. Thanks for watching.